So what's serverless or Azure Function? Are they the same? Are they different?
Kind of. So it can be kind of difficult to maintain your servers and infrastructure as your apps grow and scale and just demand more resources. So Azure Functions is like a serverless solution that allows you to kind of focus on more important pieces of code and spend less time worrying about deploying and maintaining servers. So it's not like serverless doesn't mean there are no servers or you don't have to worry about them. It's just you have to worry about them a lot less. So you can like really focus on the getting the functionality correct and focusing on your code rather than the infrastructure around it. So like functions are commonly used for APIs, or for example, every time someone tweets about your business, you want to trigger a function to process that tweet and store it, or process it and react to it somehow. Azure Functions also kind of provides you with flexible scaling models based on your workload. So it automatically gives you more compute when you need it, less when you don't need it. So you're not spending money the whole time. So some of our plans can be really cost effective for our customers as well. Now, if you want to know exactly what functions are, if you want to like work on a new feature or add a security fix quickly as an isolated code, then you can easily integrate into your overall project, then you want to use functions. They can be used as readily available blocks of code that can be implemented to run anytime and respond to critical events.
That's cool. But so we have those kind of blocks of code that get but how can we interact with that? How can we attach our solution to use them?
Well, Functions has like a really great integration system. So along with critical events, Functions also provides integration with other services, including Azure resources that can be used without writing your own integration code by using something called bindings. Bindings can be used to integrate with a service that is an input or use an incoming entry, or as an input trigger for a function, or as an output binding to process that input and write to another resource like a database.
Interesting. You want to show us how those things works?
Sure. Let's start with a quick demo here. So I like using VS Code for my local development because it has this really great Azure extension right here. Azure Functions extension, and it makes it really easy to just kind of click rather than use the terminal a ton and be typing a lot. You can just kind of click and start, and today we'll do a quick C# Hello World sample app. And
Excellent.
I'll publish it to show you how that works.
I like those Hello World demo.
Yeah. Okay, and here I'm just selecting a local folder. I select, you can see all the languages we have to offer. I'm gonna do .NET 3 because I don't want to do isolated. I'm gonna use an HTTP trigger. A trigger is a type of binding, as I mentioned earlier, that just that is used to trigger your function. Or basically tell your function when it needs to react to whatever. And so HTTP will be reacting to HTTP requests. I'm just gonna call this my function for the namespace. And then I'm gonna give it anonymous access rights just because it doesn't require an API key for the purposes of this demo. And then fairly quickly, your sample app is actually set up locally. And there you go. Here you can see it creates several files. The main one would be your HTTP trigger function. And what I meant to mention earlier was so the way Azure Functions work is it has a higher level of something called a function app, where you can have multiple functions within the app. And then those functions can kind of integrate with each other and build on top of each other for more complicated scenarios if you want. But here you can see it takes in an HTTP request as an input. You can do whatever you want with it, process it however you want. And then you can have some sort of output binding here, or just a simple output like this, just kind of says hello, whatever. And then you're ready to publish once you're done with the coding part. And you can do that in the Azure tab here. Once you publish, this will go, I'll create my subscription. And I'm going to choose the simple version. I'll explain why not the advanced version in a minute, but choose a simple one. We'll say maybe Hello Wednesday for today's resource group. Click what stack it needs to run on. I'm in the East US, so that would be the best region for to use for me, and this will take a while to go, so I'll explain some more things. Once it publishes, your function will be live, and you can basically have it going all the time, and it'll trigger only when that trigger is set off, so it's not being constantly used without costing you more when it doesn't need to be. Some of the other things that it creates right now, like right now, while it's publishing, it's creating a storage account, and it's creating an application insights account. The application insight, a storage account, you can obviously store all your logs, and then or store whatever information you want there, and then for your application insights, it's a great Azure service that you can integrate with to monitor your function. You can look at how functions are scaling up and down. You can constantly monitor progress. We have like a live view. Carrie will go over more of the troubleshooting part. But partially we have it integrated within our portal, so you can use it without even exiting Azure Functions. But if you want really more complicated things, you can leave the Azure Functions window and go explore other Azure services that will make your function a lot more rich. And then, so it looks like it's published.
Let's go back to your screen.
So now it's published, and we can go straight to the portal by clicking F1 and open in portal, pick the right function, and voila. And
excellent. Wonderful. Here. We did it. Cool. Well, thank you. And now we'll go answer a question from the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you.